Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show with my always very special guest, my dear friend, the one and only Walt Key with Epic Realty. We like to talk, I keep changing the name of the show because something's going to stick. I call it the Real Estate Show today. But we talk about things that we both believe are very important for our realtor world to know and our consumer world as well. It's not all real estate, but we do. Walt is a self described nerd when it comes to information, jobs reports, those kinds of things, which all of us should be more knowledgeable about. And Walt is kind enough every week to impart that knowledge on all of us. Welcome back, my friend. How you doing?
I am doing great. Happy Monday, everybody out there in the internet land.
Happy Monday. It is Monday all day long, middle of July. Who could believe it? It is just going so fast. For those of people who don't know you, just give them a little 411 on you, Walt.
Oh, goodness. Realtor, coach, published author, team leader. I'm just out here trying to do as much as I can to help people, agents and otherwise. So having a ball, trying to help as many people as I can.
And you do a phenomenal job at it. So if you have not sat in on one of Mr. Hawaiian Vibin's classes, workshops, you should definitely go to the Linktree profile that is scrolling across the bottom of your screen. You can go to Linktree and search for Walt Key, and you will see everything you could ever want to know about Walt and all the cool stuff that he offers, really to make your lives better and more productive, in my opinion. All right, so let's get to it. Last week, we talked about the jobs report. Fascinating. I had a whole bunch of people go, Ted, I didn't even know what you knew the jobs report was, which is a fair comment. And I said, no, I don't. So that's why I have Walt. So give us some good stuff this week, Walt.
Righty. Well, so this week is interesting. Let's start national and we'll work down to some local. So not that it's a big deal. I don't want anyone to freak out about it, but we officially broke our 5-week downward trend on interest rates. For 5 weeks in a row, we had a little tick down, a little tick down, a little tick down. This last week, we bumped it back up just a smidge.
Yes, we did.
Just half of a percentage point, nothing crazy. So don't go freaking out about that. It's not the end of the world.
No.
I still believe that probably last quarter of the year will be 6.5 or a smidge lower, and buyers will start coming back to the market in droves. So be patient. It's coming. I promise. Hang in there. Now, I don't typically like to talk about politics because real estate transcends politics. I don't care what your background, your religion, your politics, your beliefs. Everyone needs to have a home, right? But
Agreed.
I'm going to talk a little bit semi-politics here because it applies to what we're talking about the rates and the Fed. Really interesting news I was reading this weekend. You know, Trump and the Fed chair have kind of bantered back and forth. They've done some sparring about, is it the right time to lower rates? President wants the rates lowered. The Fed is apolitical. They don't listen to the president, as they shouldn't. That's fine. But some interesting news. So the Fed, for those who don't know, they've been remodeling a new headquarters now. And they are at about $2.5 billion. And that's roughly $700 million over budget. In addition to that, when the Fed chair last met at Congress, they pressed him on that issue. And like, why are you running over budget? We're hearing all these stories about this lavish remodel you're doing. Why? And he kind of pushed back and he's like, no, we're not doing that. We're not building that. That's not a part of the project. Well, it's later come out that it kind of is. And so Congress actually briefly, they debated holding him in contempt of Congress for lying to Congress.
Yes.
Now, the director of management and budget, Russell Voigt, is now pressing a potential investigation into the Fed because of the remodel going so far over budget, and it feels a little extravagant. Trump has said, I don't want to fire the guy. I just want him to lower the interest rate. So Trump has come out to say, I don't want to fire the Fed chair.
Yes.
But his administration, both the director of management and budget and his National Economic Council director, have said, well, you could theoretically fire him if there's cause. We're looking into it. And the director of management and budget is like, well, I'm looking into it because $700 million over budget.
Yes.
So it's almost as if the administration is starting to coalesce around this ideal that let's push a little harder on the Fed share in ways that don't look so political. We'll see how that plays out. It was interesting news that I was reading this weekend. There's not any. It's funny too because Trump actually appointed Jerome Powell. So this is not like it was someone else's appointment that he's unhappy with.
Yes.
In his last administration, he appointed the Fed chair.
He sure did.
So
it's wild, right? So for most Americans, me included, the fact that you have a $2.5 billion building renovation, I don't even know how to explain it. Yeah. Come on. I mean, that is just crazy to me.
It's interesting too, not to get super nerdy on anyone, in the news story talking about $700 million over budget, the news article made a point to say it's not the taxpayers' money that they're spending because the Fed is privately funded from the interest on the debt they loan out, which goes to the bank taking your money in interest. So yes, it's not your taxes, but it's your interest paid in that funds their private funded $2.5 billion headquarters.
The spin on stuff is wild.
Listen, it's a building to house some economic nerds. I don't think it needs to cost $2.5 billion. It definitely doesn't need to run $700 million over budget and not even be done yet. That should be looked at, but interesting stories nonetheless as we talk about the Fed.
It's fascinating.
Rates, where we're going to go.
This is another reason why people don't trust anybody on spending anything, because that kind of extravagance is ridiculous. Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous, especially when you have so many issues that are going unfunded or underfunded, and you've got somebody spending that on a headquarters.
Absolutely. It's crazy. So I'll continue to watch that, see if anything unfolds from it. If it does, we can talk about it another time. So let's move away from the negative. Let's move away from the national. Let's talk about Florida, because Florida's a rock star.
Really a rock star.
So every year, the CNBC ranks all 50 states, and they're looking at a ton of different metrics to determine who's the best state for business. Yes. And Florida was ranked in the top 3 this year. Number 1 for the economy. That's 3 years in a row that Florida has been ranked number 1 for economy. Number 2 for workforce. Number 3 for access to capital. So if you're in business and you're in Florida, you're in a great spot.
Yes.
If you're in business and you're not liking where you're at, Florida's open. It's a great spot. Super impressed again by the management.
It's wild, right? Like we all know it. We know, we hear it, we feel it, especially, where I live in Central Florida.
Oh, yeah.
You can't not see it or feel it. But to me, I think the world really looks at us as the place to go. Business, entertainment, relaxation, vacation. The combination is really amazing, and you can tell by that. I found it interesting. What was number 1 again? Economy.
Economy. 3 years in a row. Yeah.
And I think that is a testament to, we have handled. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll have to do a show on politics one time, because I don't know what's going to happen with some of the proposed get rid of the property taxes scenario and all of that good stuff. But what the great thing is that people still want to come here. Why would you not want to come here? Major companies are coming here. Everybody vacations here. Everybody wants to come to Disney and Universal and the beaches and all of the things we have to offer. So, of course, this is the number 1 economy. Yeah. I love it.
So, good news for Florida. Keep it up, Floridians. We're killing it out there.
Great news.
Speaking of business, shameless plug. On Friday, August 1st, I'm going to be teaching real estate agents how to build their business. I have my building strategic partnerships coaching call. You can go to the link tree, grab it on Eventbrite. I'm going to be teaching real estate agents how to think outside of their own real estate bubble and start building creative partnerships with other professionals outside of the real estate space that already have their clients. Yes. And they already have the clients they need to send to that professional. They just don't realize it yet because they haven't learned how to have the right conversation to build those partnerships. So that'll be August 1st, which is not 2 Fridays from now, but 3 Fridays from now.
I love that you're doing that. Here's the thing that, and big kudos to you for this, because most brokerages in the past, I don't know if they're doing it now, they teach the realtors to build relationships with lenders and title companies,
Sure.
and then they teach them to spend all of their money. And in this economy, it's the way that the market has been. It's a challenge for most of us to plop down $1,000 for an event where 5 years ago it would have been nothing. And
Yeah.
so, but they're not teaching them how to look outside of that. And you're right, there are so many industries out there that realtors don't tap into because they're not taught to do that.
100%.
So I'm
We're-
super excited for that for you.
Yeah, it's a fun course to teach, and I never teach anything that I don't do. I'm not that do as I say, not as I do kind of guy. Every strategy that I teach, I use, and I know it works, which is why I teach it. It's funny, every time I teach this, I say, if you're in the real estate space and you hear the word partner, who do you think of?
Yes.
And the top three are always the same: lender, title, home inspector.
Yep.
And just a quick teaser for anyone listening, I'm not talking about any of those three.
Yeah. Right. Which I knew immediately.
Partnerships that you will build outside of those three in ways that you never thought possible, that you will generate great business from with no marketing budget, no ad spend, no referral fees, just two great professionals sharing clients and serving each other better through the partnership that you create.
I've sat in on this class before, I believe. And I took from it, and I'll tell you what I've done, just to give you an idea. I have a contractors networking. So I've gone outside of my norm, and I'm bringing together contractors, subcontractors, no realtors. And unless your brokerage wants to sponsor it, I don't want any realtors. I'm going outside of where I'm at, because those people are also a referral source partner kind of relationship that I can build because of the lending that I do. But it doesn't matter. I'm going outside of that. And I think a lot of realtors forget that they're in a profession. We both coach. I coach one who is in nursing. And I'm like, why have you not tapped into you speak all the languages. Why are you not doing things in that nursing arena? So thinking outside of the box is what you teach. And so kudos to you.
100%. Yep. And then end of the month, for those who are in Northeast Florida, we are hosting our Epic Realty National Family Pool Party / Beach Party. So Friday, July 25th, we're taking all of our agents and their families to Crescent Beach in St. Augustine. We're going to hang out at the beach for a few hours, just have a good time. And then we're taking them all over to a little Italian restaurant right up the road. But everybody's getting fresh brick oven pizza. Should be a great time. Nice. So if you're in Northeast Florida, shoot me a note and connect with me. We can get some free pizza on us. It'll be a good time.
So cool. You do so much. That's why I really, when we share the links, I really want you to check out Walt's link tree, because he's got all of his good stuff on there. And I don't know why you wouldn't want to learn from you, because you do a great job you're very generous with your knowledge and your resources. So kudos to you for that. What do we have coming up next week? Is anything on the horizon? Do we think we'll have a week where we actually go back down again on the rates?
So I'm not reading my crystal ball to say whether the interest rate comes up or down a smidge. I will say whether it moves up or down, it will just be a smidge. It won't be any significant number. So there's that. The other thing that I saw, and I'm not ready to really call it interesting just yet, but in June, the Treasury posted a budget surplus. For those who are not nerds like me, that doesn't happen a lot.
Right.
June it happened. May it did not. April it actually happened. And prior to April of this year, the last time we had a monthly surplus was years ago. The last time we had an annual, this is bonkers. The last time our U.S. Treasury posted an annual budget surplus was 2001. We've been losing money every year for 24 years. That's why our national debt just keeps on ticking away, right?
That's correct.
So the reasoning behind the budget surplus in June was tariffs. We brought a lot of money in from the imports, and the bean counters and the economists said, well, the tariffs are bringing in more revenue. We actually had a surplus. I'm not ready to jump out of my seat and go, this is amazing, things are working yet.
Right.
But it's been decades since we've had back-to-back, even monthly budget surpluses. So if July looks stronger than June, we might be onto something really interesting, because it's literally been 24 years since we've posted an annual budget surplus. So I'm watching that. I'm not ready to say it's magic just yet, but it's something I'm keeping my eye on as a certified nerd.
I love it.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more. All right, Walt, what's the best way they can find out more about you? I mean, I think we shared it 1,000 times.
Yeah, listen, go to Linktree, Walt Key. You can go to Facebook, put in Walt Key, look for the guy in the ugly mug with a Hawaiian shirt. I'm very popular on Facebook primarily. Reach out to me. Ask me any question you got. Always happy to help any way I can.
And that is true. What you see here is exactly what you get when you reach out to Walt Key. I appreciate you, my friend. Truly
Absolutely.
Love the insights. It's always good to have a conversation. If you all have things you want to talk about, if you have comments, people did love the jobs report. Just to give you some feedback.
We got some fellow nerds out there. I like it.
Yeah, no, people pay attention. It's funny. If you aren't on social media and don't understand the power of it, do social media consistently for a while, especially videos where you're talking, and you will have people come out of the woodwork out of nowhere. Whether your views are 2 views or 100 views or 1,000 views or more, they're paying attention. So use social media. We should do a whole class on that one day. All right, my friend, thank you so much. We'll be back next week. You all have a great week. Again, if you have questions, let us know. We'd love to talk about it.